Greetings, everyone. Today, we're delighted to host Esha Malhotra, an alumna of LSR College from the batch of 2024 from Economics. She's currently the Business Development Manager at CleanMax, and we're so excited to have her here today. So to start with, the first question, could you walk us through your journey at LSR and the key inflection points that influenced your decision to move into business development role right after graduation?
I think my journey at LSR was not a linear one. While I was working with Rashi, I was just telling her that there was so much growing, there was so much learning, there was so much unlearning that was happening at the same time. And quickly, a background of me, I was actually an ECA student, right? I came from an ECA quota, extracurricular activities for somebody who would not know. And I came through a debating ECA quota. So I was always, everything which talked about ownership, it talked about being the face of things, that really was something that really, I was gravitated towards it. So I was always inclined towards such kind of like roles. Very, I don't want to say extrovert driven roles, but yeah, something in those lines. What was an inflection point? I think when I sort of understood the commercial side of things, that okay, this is how decisions are made, this is how you put in value, and then you can sell this value to people, to pitch to people, pitch to professors, ye budget hai, ye tarang ka ye hai, ye karna hai. So I think that really helped me understand, okay, this is something that I'm really passionate about, which is why when I actually shifted towards BD at CleanMax, it wasn't like a random choice that, okay, I've just applied and I've gotten. It was very like, I was very happy that I'm going to a BD role, very client facing, and a lot of ownership was involved in that. So yeah.
Okay, that's great. Okay. So, looking back, what specific experience at LSR, whether internship, society, or coursework, give you tangible edge when stepping into your current role?
I think it wasn't just one thing. It was a plethora of things coming together. Of course, like when I came to LSR, I was fairly open-minded. Like I knew, like, okay, I'll have to deal with different kinds of people. But societies in general really taught me how to take ownership, how to be responsible for your actions, and just like figuring things out. Uh, Internships, I think they helped me sort of get into a sneak peek into the real world. Like I was dipping my fingers into the dirty waters and sort of understanding, okay, this is how corporate people work, this is how 9 to 5 happens, this is how punch in punch out happens. So yeah, that happened. And academically, LSR really helped me sort of understand structure with ambiguity. You know, coursework is always new to us every semester, so just to understand structure was something that I learned from academically from LSR. But overall, I think more than any of this, what really helped me at LSR was the kind of environment that we've created, right? I'm surrounded by, right now as well, very confident ladies who are also behind the camera, who are in front of the camera, and they don't shy away from taking leadership roles. They don't shy away from building, right? Which is why this sort of environment is created where you consciously or unconsciously pushing yourself to do more, right? Because everybody else around you is also trying to up their game, trying to improve their CVs. So like everybody's like pushing to do better, which is why I think that sort of instinct that was built in from LSR, I think that really helped me in my current role as well.
Okay, and I mean, I follow you on LinkedIn as well. I think you're very active there. So, I mean, I think that also pushes you a lot to do different
Absolutely.
things.
Yeah, I think LinkedIn is a different ballgame altogether. Like the kind of people, it opens doors to the kind of people you never thought of meeting in life, right? I'm meeting CXOs even in college. Like I met CXOs, I met founders, just because they liked my content, just because they bonded over uh, how they miss Rajma Chawal at home. Because right, I remember this one founder reached out to me and they said, hey, let's grab a coffee. And why did they want to grab a coffee with me? Just because they really liked this one post of me saying my professor, didn't allow me inside the class because I was like 10 minutes late. So he said, yeah, like that was such a this thing reminiscing post. So I think yeah, LinkedIn really opens up opportunities for you.
Something you want to tell to your students, like the juniors right now at LSR, about networking, because people do get a lot of internships, placements through networking. It's like something, if you're a junior, you do not know how to do it. So how to start with it and how to go on with it.
Something before actually starting out is that if you want to start creating content, if you want to use LinkedIn as a platform to start creating content, then don't think of it as opportunities, right? That, oh, this is going to get me this particular internship. That's not going to happen. It will, however, build a very good personal brand, which means you're connected to the right people, which will, of course, eventually end up you getting a good job or a good internship. Um, but the intention with why I started LinkedIn was more to do with I love writing. How can I just put myself out there? Because everybody else around me was putting themselves out there, and they weren't shying away from it. They weren't scared of it. So why am I scared of my writing, right? Um, so I think that's how I started. That was the intention behind writing on LinkedIn, and it just slowly grew into what it is today. Mm, yeah, I think an advice that I would give to people is just start. Like a lot of times we're always overthinking, yeah, what if this person, like we're always scared of like our friends, like our immediate people around us, like our immediate circle, right? What if they think like about this particular post, or what if this person says something, which people will say. When I was in college, when I was writing things, very often, even till today, even at my job, I hear things like, oh, ab iske bare mein bhi tu likhegi on LinkedIn, right? This is something that you just have to deal with. It should rather motivate you to write more. And yeah, I think that's it.
That's great. Okay, so moving on to the next question. I think you talked about this, but if something else you want to add on. So the transition from a structured academic environment to performance-driven corporate setting can be intense. So what were the biggest mindset shift you had to make in your first few months?
Hmm. I think the transition from like a college to a corporate job was super intense for me, especially because I was shifting to a brand new city altogether, which I had no clue about. I was shifting to Bombay. Um, so, of course, that was super intense. But I think most importantly, the biggest sort of transition I sort of had was coming from a background where effort is, appreciated more, to a place where results are appreciated more, right? In college, you do a lot of effort, your seniors are looking at you, your juniors are looking at you, people realize you're doing a lot of effort, and you get rewarded for it because obviously results are showing, right? um, at a corporate job, that sadly is not true. You can pursue a client all you want, but if they don't end up, converting into a, like a potential lead, converting into a client, the company will not care. In the sense, you did make a lot of effort on this. We agree with you that that effort is appreciated, but did that convert into a client? No. That was the biggest transition from effort to results to outcomes. I think second was resilience. I think LSR sort of gives you like a taste of resilience when there are a lot of internship rejections, there are a lot of job rejections that you already get. But when you've put in a lot of effort on something and then you don't get the right outcome that you want, so yeah, that transition was also huge for me.
I think shifting from Delhi to Bombay was having another roller coaster.
Absolutely. Like Delhi is close by to my place. It's like a train ride away, right? And I don't have to think twice before going back home because it's a minor cost as compared to like a flight cost, which is going to be good. Like before coming here, I had to think twice. Like, wow, the cost is like extremely high and all of that. So that cost is always there. Plus, also I feel Delhi was Delhi. I had a lot of relatives, had a lot of like school friends. Bombay, it was a clean slate. I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything. So yeah,
That is, I think, another experience.
absolutely, it was a huge transition, and to find, I thought finding PGs in college was difficult. Come to Bombay and find a flat. You will understand what a nightmare it is. Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next question. So, LSR is known for fostering confidence and leadership among the student. Do you think that environment influenced how you approach opportunities, take initiative, and position yourself professionally today?
1000% yes. I think the like I was saying, taking initiative here sort of becomes the norm, right? People are constantly building, people are constantly showing up, people are constantly putting themselves out there. Somebody is doing very well on social media, somebody is doing very well academically, somebody is doing very well um, networking wise, right? So people are constantly pushing here. Plus, you're also surrounded by people, I mean, at least in my age, talking like I'm very old, but at least like when I was there, you used to get admission when you were like a 99% kid, right? So you're constantly surrounded by people who've done very well, right? Even the ECA students means you're the best of the best when you're in LSR or in a very or any tier one college, which means you're constantly surrounded by people who are pushing. So I think that sort of ownership quality and that leadership quality that you get from here, that's really helped me, because BD as a role is somewhere it's a role where you have to take ownership of your work, right? Outcomes really matter, and not just doing the task, right? And taking ownership ki, hey, I'm free right now, let me just take up this project, or let me take up this proposal. So I think that's an attitude that I truly, that LSR ingrained in me, and I'm really grateful for that.
Okay, great. Next question. So, if you had to go back to your second year at LSR, what would you do differently in terms of building skills, gaining exposure, or making a career decision?
Hmm, that's a tricky question. What I would do differently? I think firstly, I'd want myself to just calm myself, because I was so scared. I was like, यार internship नहीं मिल रही है यार, job कैसे मिलेगी, my CV is not that great, let me just do a lot of internships and just collect internships, like on a very superficial level, right? What I would want to do, if I could go back, is do fewer things and do everything in depth, like really understand what I'm doing, really see the outcome of things, very result driven approach ki, okay, have I gotten a considerable amount of skills from this particular internship, and just building on skills, because I think skills, people, places compound very early on. So yeah, just building on skills, which I think I should have done more when I was in second year, and networking. I know I was good at networking, but I would love to like network more, understand from people, talk to more people, because I think the more I spoke to people, the more I got clarity on what I really enjoy doing.
Okay. And just to add on, so I mean, you pursued a career right after your graduation. You did not think of doing masters or MBA right after college. I mean, why did you choose going for a corporate instead of an MBA or masters?
Um, I have a very firm belief of um, understanding comes from doing and not degrees. Having said that, I mean, I'm from LSR. I love LSR. I love degrees, but I feel like you really learn things when you're on the job rather than in a classroom, which is of course true in my case as well. Nobody can teach you BD if you're just sitting in a classroom. You need to go out, talk to people, figure things out, because BD is a very like fast loop feedback sort of a role, right? Very quickly you'll understand if this person is getting me or not. You'll have to change your approach very quickly. You have to think on your feet, which as on date, I don't think I've learned that from any classroom, but on the job. So I knew that I wanted to sort of first understand what field I want to specialize in. And for that, I need to explore more. So I think that's what I did with BD, because um, BD helped me understand a lot of different roles. So I think that helps.
Okay. I think that we can do like a quick myth and truth round. So you just have to say a myth or truth and you can explain it. Like why that, okay? So the first, you need to have everything figured out right after college.
No, not at all. That's a myth. Um, Again, clarity comes from doing, not overthinking. You can always figure things out as you go.
Okay. Business roles are only for extroverts.
Absolutely not. That's a myth. Um, of course, extroverts, it's a plus point, but I mean, business roles also, people forget that it also requires problem solving with context. Often, the best business development roles are for people who are not the loudest in the room, but also are the sharpest in the room, who can do quick thinking on their feet.
And brand name matters more than skill. I think you answered that one.
Hmm. I think short term, yes, it can open doors for you, but skills like will help you sustain your growth in the long run.
Okay. I want to add one question. While I came to college as a junior, right now a second year, the only word that I heard was consulting. Every person wanted to go into consulting. Consulting internships and placements are the ones that majorly come. So I mean, you chose business development instead of consulting. So like, why did you not choose consulting? And how are the both fields different from each other?
That's a very valid question for somebody who's still figuring out things. Um, so I can, of course, I don't have a lot of experience to come from and say, hey, this is what my experience is. But having been there with a company which got me into BD for about 2 years, what I can tell you is BD itself has three different buckets in it, right? First is understanding clients, right? Approaching clients, then building relationships, and then defining closures, right? Which means, so my day would sort of look like, I'm cold calling clients, or I'm actually going to their facilities and saying, hey, this is a company which is selling this. Please come and join us, right? Then building relationships once they're on board, um, having legal agreements in place, and then finally giving it back to the operations team and saying, hey, right, you're the face of the company. For consulting, at least from the knowledge that I have from my friends, is that, so I have a very particular niche that I'm working with, which is green consulting, right? I am not looking at any other field, business field whatsoever. Even though while staying at a green energy company, I'm still dealing with an Ultratech Cement, an Apple, an Amazon, a Meta, which are all our clients. But when I look at consulting is more to do with, you literally just sit with that client, understand what their problem is, and it's more of an inbound role. So a client is given to you, a project is given to you. This is your project, this is the business. You understand the business, you take time to understand the business, you take time to speak to them and understand what their problem looks like, and then help them with their own business, right? BD is what they want versus what we can offer, and then combine it.
As it does. Yeah. So I mean, I think it's more of like you're talking to more people, and consulting is a bit more restrictive.
Not restrictive, because once a project is completed, you should jump on to another one, right? What I can also add, like a pro and con, I think that's how you're looking at it, is also like, in consulting, there are a lot of different fields that you can explore, right? You're sitting with let's say, an infrastructure company one day, and then the other day you're looking at a marketing agency, right, which needs your help. While as here, I'm not looking at, oh, this person is this and this person is that. Everybody needs green power. How can I provide green power to these people? I have a product, I want to sell it. Rather than, okay, what's your problem? Let's fix that. Yeah.
Okay, understood. I think we're done with the questions. Is there any advice that you want to give to your juniors? Something?
Uh, okay. I think never. We as girls are like, of course, we live in a society. Um, I really think don't say it. So say yes, even if you think you're unprepared. I think that's got me through so many doors. Um, what else? You don't have to have all the answers, right? Like you were asking. You don't have to get it all figured out, because I think that was something I was constantly dealing with in college. This person got this internship, this person got this job. It's okay. Everybody will get a job, everybody will get an internship. Is there anything else? Yeah, focus on, I mean, networking. People, places, experiences compound later, for sure.
Great. I think we're done with the question. Thank you so much for taking our time to speak
Thank
with
you
us.
so much for having me. Thank you, girl. Really, really, really sweet of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.